Have you ever wondered how to connect with the top influencers and leaders in your industry to get their insight, mentorship, and advice so that you can take your online business to the next level? If so, this is the episode for you, because coming up, we have 5 of my top tips and tricks to really connect with some amazing people in your industry who can help you get to the next level. Hey guys, I'm Kim Jimenez, your digital marketing strategist and the founder of The Business Lounge. And if this is the very first time we're meeting, welcome to the channel and the community. I'd love for you to subscribe if you haven't done so already, so you never miss out on new episodes like this one, jam-packed with tons of insight and advice on how to up-level your online business, how to market and really showcase your work online, and more importantly, how to make a bigger impact. So I just got back from an amazing coaching intensive in Seattle for 3 days with Keith Krantz, Chris Rushalow, and Todd Herman, really digging deep into my business and exactly what we want to do with the Business Lounge, which is our core flagship membership site going forward. And that experience was incredible. And along the way, right, over the past 5 years of my business, I've really worked with some amazing people that have been able to really guide me and share with me what I need to be doing and working on next to take my business to the next level. And that's what we're going to talk about today is mentorship. How do you get it? What are some of the tips to really connect with the ideal people? And my own personal philosophy around mentorship is a little bit different. You know, I really think, and this is what I've done in my career, that it's a lot of pressure to put, one person in charge of your success and your future. So for me, I usually like to really take on multiple mentors. I find people who have, ran amazing membership sites, because that's where I'm at right now in my business stage, and I learn from them in that regard. I also learn from people who are amazing marketers and business owners, and I learn from them. I learn from leaders and productivity strategists, and I really take that approach in my business of working with multiple mentors who can all collectively help me take my business to the next level. Now, your take on mentorship might be a little bit different, and that's totally okay. What I really want to encourage you to do is find what works for you. This is what's worked for me, and I highly encourage you to just experiment with it to find what works for you. Now, my first tip is to mentor from afar. When you're just getting started in your business, you might not be able to afford to work one-on-one with someone, or perhaps you don't necessarily live close to the person that you want to mentor with. So it's perfectly okay to mentor from afar. And this is what I did early on in my career when I was just getting started. So I found people who I admired and respected and really trusted online, and I joined their Facebook groups and their podcasts and read every single blog they put out. Eventually, I also purchased their online training courses, did one-on-one coaching over the phone, and all of those things collectively helped me get to the next level, which is one-on-one mentorship and advice, from someone that can actually help you long-term. But when you're just getting started, it's totally okay to mentor from afar, and you can read books and really, go to live events, listen to audio tapes. All of those things are critical and extremely important. They're all things that you're going to do no matter how successful you are. So I highly want to encourage you to really invest in amazing books, invest in online training, invest in mentorship groups or membership sites, anything and everything that you can get your hands on from the people that you trust, admire, and really want to work with in the future. And by the way, if this is resonating with you, definitely check out the description box below. We're going to be linking the accompanying blog to this episode so that you can get bonus training, bonus tips, bonus resources that I just can't put all in one video. So click the link below and check out the blog if you haven't already. Tip number 2, be a great student. If you're really trying to work with someone online or maybe offline, you have to be a good student. So find out, what are some of the core principles that they practice in their business and start implementing it in yours. If you're doing this online and this person already has a platform, like maybe they've written a book or they run a podcast or they have a YouTube channel, then you can start learning from the content that they're already sharing, and that way you're proving that you are a coachable, really great, action-taking student that is already going to, create results for themselves. One of the things that I find is a big no-no in the online world is going straight to a mentor, expecting them to either coach you for free, drop everything that they're doing, just to work with you one-on-one, when you haven't even implemented the things that they're already teaching, either via their books or their platforms or, their podcasts. Mentors and leaders in the space put so much of their time and energy, their resources into sharing their insight and their know-how with the world. So if the person that you're trying to work with has already shared loads of advice, make sure that you're consuming that content, that you're implementing it, and then come back to them and show them the results. This is a really great step that hardly anyone takes, and it really makes you stand out from the pack. Tip number 3 is to build a relationship by giving instead of asking. Again, remember that these leaders, these industry influencers are super busy. They're probably already working with coaching clients. They're also running their own online businesses while at the same time trying to put out, as much content as they can for their communities. So what you want to do is offer them something that can benefit them instead of asking for their advice or their insight or their mentorship. And this is one of the strategies that's worked the best for me. So when I didn't, know how to connect with the influencers and the mentors that I wanted to work with, I actually bought as many of their courses or their products or their software as I could afford. I implemented everything that they taught to their community publicly, and I shared and reached out with my results. So one of the first mentors I had from afar were Brian and Scott Moran from Samcart. And if you haven't checked out Samcart yet, there was a time, and I think it's still there, where I was one of their case studies in their homepage. I took so many notes during their podcast. I listened to every piece of advice they had put out on the internet, and I started getting some real momentum with my business online. So I created a video testimonial sharing with them what I had already learned, and I soon became the face of their ads campaign on YouTube. So it was one of those ways where I was able to connect with mentors. They gave me some great insight, and we ended up collaborating on some other campaigns and projects to promote Samcart and their software. So by giving them something in advance, I was able to, really garner their trust, show up in bigger ways, and stand out from a billion other people who are demanding their time and energy and know-how. Tip number 4 is just to show up, right? You have to show face. If these mentors, these leaders are hosting live events, or they're hosting, online broadcasts, or they're hosting some kind of show on the internet, show up, right? Being the person who's the super fan, who comments on every post, who shares it with their friends, who's, praising you and supporting you, really makes a difference. Like when you are the leader and the influencer, you take note of those people. Those people stand out, and you might not respond to every single one. And when I say you, I'm talking about if you are the influencer. So if you're trying to connect with someone, know that it's okay if they don't respond to your first tweet or your first email or your first Facebook post. It's okay. You still have to show up, and if you can show up in person, that counts so much more. So if they're hosting conferences or workshops, be a part of those events. It makes such a big difference because they get to connect with you on a one-on-one, basis. They get to hear your story if you're, participating in a tight-knit group, or, they get to at least see your face and they might recognize you later on from an online or offline event. So it's really important to show face, show up, and make sure that you are connecting with them as much as you possibly can prior to working with them one-on-one, and building that relationship regardless of the distance. And tip number 5 is super simple, but just ask, right? You absolutely need to ask. If you don't ask, you will not receive, right? It's totally biblical and it's so true. At some point, you really need to show up and ask for their mentorship and their advice. You know, start by just connecting with them on social media and asking if there's any types of workshops or any type of mentorship or one-on-one coaching that they offer at this time. Most industry leaders and influencers either offer, you know, coaching packages and mentorship trainings, or they're in the process of doing it. So I really want to encourage you to just ask. If you can't afford to pay for their services, a lot of times there's other things that you can do in order to benefit them. So maybe you offer to be a case study, or maybe you offer to give them an amazing testimonial or a great review. Sometimes that's not enough, but it's worth a try. So just ask. Don't, you know, spend 6 months trying to build the relationship from afar and never ask. Ask as often as you can. And even if they say no, that's okay. Keep connecting with them. Keep building the relationship. Eventually, you'll get an opportunity to work with them either at a live event or, you know, at an intensive or at some kind of one-on-one type of coaching thing. You really want to stay top of mind and make sure that they remember that you still want to work with them. So I hope that you found my tips helpful and that they've inspired you to go out there and find amazing mentors that can help you take your business to the next level, really avoid tons of the mistakes that they've already made in, you know, their own path to success, and help you accelerate your progress faster. Now, if you are looking for a mentor and you would love to get some one-on-one training, I'd love to have you join us inside of the Business Lounge. It's what my team and I do every single day for online entrepreneurs just like you. So there's going to be a link in the description box below where you can check out what we have going on and apply perhaps to one of our one-on-one intensive training programs. I love you. Keep grinding, keep hustling, and keep making things happen in your business so that you can continue serving your people, making a bigger impact in the world, and of course, increasing your influence. If you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to do that. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget about the question of the day. I almost forgot, but I'd love to hear from you. What are some of your insights, some of your strategies that have been really effective in helping you work with some of the top influencers and leaders in your industry? Remember that some of the best advice comes from the community in the comments section, and I'd love for you to share your insight down below. All right, that's it for today. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye for now. So, you know how building an online business can be totally overwhelming? You're probably learning new strategies from YouTube, other blogs, podcasts, and taking courses that are all great, but sometimes give you contradictory and even confusing advice. I get it. It's hard to filter through which strategies you should be implementing right now to grow your online business versus the ones that you should stow away for the future, you know, when you're actually ready to implement them. And that's exactly why we designed the Online Success Path. Inside, we broke down the 6 stages of a successful online business: validate, launch, hustle, breakthrough, profit, and scale. And we designed a complete roadmap inside the Business Lounge membership just for you. Inside each stage, you will find a step-by-step action guide tailored to the specific challenges you'll encounter during the stage of business you are currently at, complete with getting started tips so you can know exactly what to expect, video tutorials so that you can implement new strategies, action items so you stay on track, plus full-blown courses to help you focus only on the tasks that will accelerate your progress right now and take you to the next level in your business journey while keeping you accountable and overwhelm-free. So if you're ready to take your online business to the next level, get started at jointheblounge.com.